Alright, hello there and welcome to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be checking out a free mod. I just spotted this while I was scrolling through and I'm surprised I never did a review of it. This is Roleplay Backgrounds by Broken Classic 2. So this adds a slew of new backgrounds to the kind of intro level of the game. When you create a new character, it also modifies some existing backgrounds to make them make more sense. So they got a new update. It was updated recently. It came out last year around August, but they updated it just last month. So there's new traits, custom starting apparel per background, and then the outfits to be distributed. So there's a slew of backgrounds there, as well as new ones that are added. And then they altered the vanilla backgrounds you could see there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go check it out and check out some of it. We're going to read through all of them, and then we'll pick a few just to kind of see what the starting equipment looks like. So yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? All right, so we're in the game. So we're going to look at some of these. So we've got Aegis Field Agent. Aegis Field Agent, not much is publicly known about the UC's shadowy intelligence agency. You feel it's probably better that way. As a field agent, you've been trained in the subterfugal arts, as well as combat through rigorous training scenarios and plenty of class at the mass building in the New Atlantis. Your mission has always been about collecting information about the various groups of the cell system. So it gives you martial arts, marksman, and stealth, which is pretty cool. Athlete. Most athletic prodigies fizzle out young, unable to maintain the stress of a high-functioning lifestyle. Not you, though. You've had successful semi-pro bat-ball career traveling all over over settled space, competing for the attention of major league recruiters. Unfortunately, you were never drafted, but that wasn't enough to stop your drive for becoming a legend. Perhaps you'll be the next Red Mile record holder. This is fitness, dueling, and nutrition. I quite like that. So Beast Hunter got tweaked. Beast Hunter now got rid of gastronomy and fitness and adds surveying and zoology. I don't think the text has been changed. Bouncer, they got rid of security and fitness and added in-cap and intimidation. Bounty Hunter, they updated the descriptions, actually, so let me read them. Okay. From the Ashta of Aquila to the Terramorphs that plague the whole of the settled systems, hostile alien life abounds. You've learned the skills to track them, find them, and take them down. Sure, you could have been a bounty hunter, but human prey just doesn't give the same kind of thrill, and no one seems to like those wall-mounted trophies. Bouncer, you've worked the line at some of the toughest clubs in Eon. Back then, you learned that most non-lethal confrontations can be solved one of two ways: a strong right hook or an EMP blast to the face. It helps, too, that you've always been able to make troublemakers back down with your appearance alone. Bounty Hunter, one day you were sitting in a bar near the spaceport when a group of hunters from the Tractor Lines burst in and tackled a guy at the table next to you. Before they left, one turned to you and said, "Easiest 3,000 credits I've ever made," and winked. So you quit your job and started checking the local bounty boards. So Chef has been updated. They updated the description. They got rid of scavenging and added nutrition. While the unrefined masses scarfed down chunks by the shipload, that was a different word, you cater to those with a more discerning palate. In your kitchen, countless alien species became culinary masterpieces. People have always told you that your food seems to keep them going just a little longer than anything else. And your skills with a knife are unmatched. Alright, so Combat Medic got tweaked. They got rid of wellness and added pain tolerance. Updated description says, though you never ended up a mech pilot, you were proud of your service in the medic corps. From burns, broken limbs, to bullet wounds, you've seen it all on the battlefield. And after the war was over, you found these skills could keep you and your friends going in all your adventures through the galaxy. So obviously, yeah, it gets pain tolerance. Cyber Runner, that is a new one, I believe. Or I don't know if that's a new one, actually. Let me just double check. No, Cyber Runner isn't a new one, law. Cyberneticist. Yeah, they tweaked. They got rid of security and robotics. You used to work at Genderdyne Industries in Neon, but you were fired after your supervisor found you dismantling a security turret and using its parts for your own project. Joke's on them, though. You developed an implant that delivers EM discharge straight from your hands. Deimos Graduate is a new one. You get Starship Design, Piloting, and Starship Engineering. Ever since you were a child, you would spend much of your free time at the spaceport watching the ships come and go. It really wasn't a surprise to anyone when you applied for the Deimos Starship Engineering Academy. After graduating, you could never decide if you'd like to be known as one of the if you'd like to be known for the galaxy's smallest or largest starship ever created, ever constructed. Decisions, decisions. Diplomat, they got rid of wellness and added diplomacy. Wait, diplomat never had diplomacy? What? That's pretty funny. They didn't change the stuff for that. You've got ex-convict. You've got instigation, weightlifting, and dueling. You did what you had to get through your stint in a UC prison, like many prisoners they did. You hit the weights and armed yourself with a makeshift weapon in case you made somebody's hit list. One plus was discovering that you have a hidden talent for convincing other people to fight, so you can claim you had nothing to do with it. Imagine what you could do with this skill now that you're free. Ex-ecliptic comes with intimidation, piling, boost pack. You thought you were lucky. You ran a few jobs as an independent contractor and grabbed the attention of the ecliptic recruiter. Next thing you know, you're in a deep underbelly of the criminal underworld. Your morals have always felt more like a shade of grey to you, but the ecliptics were just too much. Too bad they're not the ones to forgive and forget. Ex-spacer, scavenging, astrodynamics, and ballistics. You used to run with a crew of lowlifes from every corner of the settled system. Growing up, you were attracted to the promise of adventure outside a breathable atmosphere. Eventually, you wondered if there was more to life than gunning for that next big score. With each abandoned space station and reckless confrontation, you started to crave a different kind of adventure. Explorer, they got rid of lasers and added isolation. You never cared for politics, and you never really did well in teams. Life was always much simpler on its own. Besides, why would you share the glory of discovering something completely new with anyone else? Silence is golden, and you can watch your own back fine enough. So, Flying Ace gives you piloting, engine systems, and targeting. Your parents thought you should have applied and gone to the Deimos Starship Academy. You were never interested in how efficient or well-built starships were, only how fast and deadly. You kept count of how many starships you dropped from orbit religiously. The Vanguard will be lucky to have someone like you. Gangster, they got rid of boxing and added negotiation. They updated the description. Your family moved around a lot when you were a kid from various space stations, lunar outposts, and settlements all over the settled system. When you got a little older, your family finally let you in on the family business. There was always deals and credits to be made wherever you ended up. Homesteader, they got rid of wellness and added lasers. So they also edited, did they edit? Yeah, they edited the description. You didn't care for the rules and regulations of living in the city. Hell, you don't even like the idea of lists breathing down your neck. You've only ever wanted to have a parcel of land you call your own and run it the way you see fit. Life is harsh in remote space, but you're apt to defend your claim. Industrialists, they just got rid of security. They didn't change anything. List Settler, that's a new one. This comes in Outpost Engineering, Environmental Conditioning, and Geology. It took years of applying, but you were finally endorsed by the League of Independent Settlers, though you still have much to prove. You spent countless hours in settlement management seminars, disaster simulations, geological studies, and improving your electrical engineering skill set. You have the knowledge. Now all you need to do is raise the funds and hire a crew. Londinium Survivor. You got wellness, pistol, and environmental conditioning. You were an only child when your parents pushed you into an overpacked cargo transport ship. You watched out the side window as your ship broke free of atmosphere and passed the fleet of UC Navy vessel just in time to watch the interplanetary missiles make contact with the spaceport. They died so you may live. What will you do with this gift? Long Hauler, I don't think... Okay, Long Hauler, they just got rid of ballistics and added payloads. Mars native, you get lasers, boxing, and intimidation. Born and raised in a still active mining colony of Cydonia on Mars, humanity's first step into the solar system. As a child, your parents spent much of their time in the mines, leaving you often to fend for yourself in the dimly lit corridors and habs of an aging colony. Because of this, you know your way around a laser cutter pretty well, and have never backed down from a fight. Miner, I don't think they... Is Miner a new one? Or was Miner always one? Let me check. No, Miner's base one. Is it? Oh no, Miner's a new one. Miner's a new one. So it comes with scanning, surveying, and weightlifting. If there's valuable ore in the ground, you can find it, and when you do, it's just a matter of how long until it's in your hands. You spend a fair portion of your working life traveling from one end of the cell system to the next, looking for work. When the getting's good, you're happy to stay. When the veins dry up, it's on to the next job. Naturalist, I believe that's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. Martial arts, boxing, cellular regeneration. Humanity has come far with the aid of technological advancement. However, technology grows old and eventually obsolete. One day you realize that the human body has remained the same throughout the entirety of our history. You spent a great deal of time connecting with yours. It's the perfect vessel and weapon. Pilgrim. Is that new? new? Pilgrim. No, Pilgrim. Is Pilgrim new? Don't know if Pilgrim's new. Let me just double check again. I apologize. I'm just looking at the website. They're not in alphabetical order. No, I think Pilgrim is, yeah, Pilgrim is a base one. Pirate, that's new. You get Deception, Ballistics, and Ballistics weapon systems, somewhere between a low-life spacer and a full-blown member of the Crimson Fleet. It's not that you would never consider flying under the Red Banner, you just haven't made the proper introductions yet. The spacer life just doesn't do it for you. Why scavenge in the rubble for something shiny when you can point your gun at someone and the shiny appears in your hands? Professor, you always enjoyed learning, but nothing compared to the joy of teaching others. As humankind spreads through the stars, there was never a lack of knowledge to obtain, and you gladly assisted. Astrodynamics, it comes with geology and research materials. Ronin, I don't think Ronin, that's a base one. Was Ronin tweaked? No, Ronin wasn't tweaked. SSNM Reporter, you've always been more interested in people than anything else. Ever since your first story about a stabbing that took place in the Stretch district of Aquila City, you've been known to be fearless in the search of information. You hardly ever carried a firearm. You always thought you had a way of talking. You always had a way of talking your way out of a conflict or getting the information you sought. It comes with persuasion, negotiation, diplomacy. Sanctum Universum. That's a background and a trait, interestingly. Oh, that's new, but there's a trait of it. So an incredible thing humanity has been given, the ability to travel the stars. You believe that was this was no accident, but the result of a divine benevolent God is just out there in the galaxy somewhere waiting for its children to find it. Yes, I butchered that. Many things can happen in a human life, but none overshadow the role of the traveler in search of their creator ad infinitum. It comes with astrodynamics, cellular generation, and energy dissipation. Scrapper. Most people were happy the colony wars was over. You were happy for a different reason. All the juicy abandoned treasure just waiting to be stripped and sold. One man's abandoned xeno-warfare research facility is another payday. Sometimes you find some less than legal oddities. The real challenge is getting the past this step. You have security, scavenging, and deception. Sculptor. With your known knowledge of anatomy and skilled, steady hands, you could have had a lucrative career as a surgeon. Instead, you followed your heart and created work of art to amaze and inspire. Medicine, geology, and persuasion. Smuggler, I don't know. Is Smuggler new? Honestly, it would have probably been quicker just basically reading. Is Smuggler new? Yeah, Smuggler's new. Aurora, weapons, human organs. Oh yeah, I should have read the description. Would have known that's new. Old military tech. You're not really concerned with the morality when there's credits to be made. The colonies of the cell system, like the tout an objective intolerance for the trade of these goods in civilized space, but there's always someone who is willing to pay top dollar to get these things past an embargo. Deception, payloads, and commerce. Soldier, I believe they tweaked. What did they do with Soldier? They tweaked the description. Once upon a time, the cell system was no stranger to warfare, and if there's one thing armed conflict relies on, it's trained warriors with guns and guts. You might have missed the call to action during the colony war, but you've been training and you're ready for the next one. Hoorah, hoorah. Space Scoundrel. Is that a new one? Yes, it is. Good, bad? Who's right is it to say? If there's anything you've learned while traipsing through the galaxy, it's this. Space may look black, but it's really one big shade of gray. Pistol certification, piloting, persuasion. Space trader. You started out importing goods from all over the cell system to sell locally. Then you realized you could cut your cost in half by cutting out the middleman. Now you spend your time filling your cargo bays from one end of the cell system to the next. The trickiest part is avoiding the pirates. Commerce, payloads, incapacitation. Tinkerer. You started by modding out your first Eon sidearm when you were a teen. You even earned a few certifications with some of the major players like Allied Armaments and Laredo. It wasn't long before you started messing around with spacesuits as well. Some call you a gearhead, but you consider yourself more of a tinkerer. Research design, a research method, spacesuit design, weapon engineering. Varun practitioner. Your first exposure to the beliefs of House Varun came from the pages of the contraband scripture you found in a bin while working at the UC Exchange in New Atlantis. Looking back on this event now, you know that this was never a mere coincidence. The Great Serpent promises protection from its devouring of the universe if you only heed its teaching. Astrodynamics, lasers, and intimidation. I feel like they should have did particles. But yeah. War Veteran, Freestar. The Freestar Collective might have won the war, but at what cost? You were on Nero when the arms was called. You were lucky to have been fighting on the other side of the planet when the first cavalry went AWOL. Had you been there, you might have joined them and gotten court-marched like the rest. Rifle, ballistics, and environmental. War veteran UC. It's been hard adjusting to civilian life after the war was over. They offered you a tenure working at a desk job in New Atlantis, but you couldn't let go of the resentment for how the war ended. The friends you lost at the Battle of Cheyenne made it hard for you to to get close to anyone. Instead, you took the skills you learned in army and looked for opportunities. Isolation, ballistics, boost pack. Xenobiologist is that it? Yeah, that's a new one, apparently. The cell system is home to untold alien species, and while none of them have yet proven sentient, they never deterred you. So you sought out and studied them for whatever gifts they offered. Comes with lasers, surveying, and fitness, and then finally file not found. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a few of these just to see what items we get. So I'm going to choose this one first, and yeah, we're going to just go in. We're going to be name player. Ages. Oh, oops, I am on Xbox. So I'm gonna jump here, and then we're just gonna check out to see what he has gear-wise. All right, so we have been given an Aegis operator suit. It gives chameleon, repulsion, and hacker 2. Is that all we got? I think that's all we got. Yeah, so we just got the Aegis operating suit, which makes sense. Looks quite cool. It also has exoservos and gravitic composites. Pretty decent suit. All right, so we're going to check the next one. All right, so the Ecliptic one adds Ecliptic armor, shock, but I just wanted to test. Weirdly, it only seems to add the spacesuit. It doesn't add the helmet or anything else. Yeah, I'm not really sure if it's supposed to add more. We're going to go keep checking anyway. We'll be right back. All right, so I went with the Convict, and we got Prison Scrubs. Padded Prison Scrubs gives combat veteran, liquid cool, and reactive. So for all intents and purposes, so these are outfits, obviously, but they have like the spacesuit perks. Now the only issue with these is if you have a spacesuit on, I don't know if it will count. I've never really tested that. I don't know if it would count. Also, it seems like, let me just reload what we're talking. It seems like it only gives you an armor, like an item, like an armor, or a clothing item. It doesn't seem to give you a weapon, which I suppose that makes sense because, like, it's not messing with the tutorial too much. We're going to check a few more of these anyway, and I'll be back. All right, so I clicked Londinium Survivor, and we got a navigation spacesuit. Which, I mean, okay. So one of the things the mod author said in the description is they plan on, like, updates, like things they plan on doing. And they plan on eventually, like, adding, like, custom start locations, which, to be completely honest, would be awesome. Like, just straight off the bat, like, going, like, through the, like, writing and stuff, like, it's very clear the mod author has a good grasp of the lore of the game. So having this as a kind of, currently it's just a background mod, but having it as an alternate start mod would be even, more awesome. Yeah, like I said, like the mod, it's been out for a while. I just wanted to highlight this. We'll choose one more option.
You were out cold. No physical damage.
Yeah. Let me just.
Still out.
Right, so we'll...
You know who you are?
No, I have no idea who I am. Oh, am I?
Any of this look familiar?
No. All right, so which one will we choose this time? All right, we're a little granny. Let's do. Ooh, I kind of want to know what reporter is. Let's do reporter. All right, and we'll be gran.
Well, you got the sample. You remember any?
No, just tell me what I unlocked. So I didn't see any legendary pop up, which means probably. All right. Oh, actually, okay. We got reporter's fashionable suit, which gives 5 persuasion chance. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll try one more, and then we'll end it there. All right. So went with UC, And we got some cool things. So we got a UC Marine Power Pack, Space Helmet, Space Suit, Navy Crew, Crew Fatigue. Ooh. Navy Crew Fatigues look pretty nice. Alright, pretty cool. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. I will say, it seems like some have better starting perks than others, which I mean makes sense because, you know, some of them are literally like, I was a prisoner. Some are like, I served for 20 years in the U.S. Marine Corps. Well, they're not really, but yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a really, really cool mod, and I'm interested to see the mod author improve it. They've already done some awesome, like, improvements as is by adding, like, more and kind of overhauling the base. I'm definitely going to be adding this to any future playthroughs, and I want to have a cool background. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.